It's almost here.
As the months go by,
The time draws near.
the outcast creative is here. With the Nielsen ratings, we have our weekly show. Then there's Chew the Fat, where we talk more detailed facts of our favorite movies and shows at the Outcast Creative. We're always on the go.
On other days we fit in. Streams on gaming and raving. Talking about mental health. Because most of us need saving.
With other YouTubers popping in, being friends with Critical Drinker,
Knocking back
shots of gin.
Hey, this is supposed to be Scottish whiskey! But the primary purpose of the Outcast Creative is to show some love to those indie innovators, supporting creatives all over the world.
That is the channel's
#1 goal.
interviewing creators, from musicians to actors, whatever you're creating, from films to dance music tracks. This is the channel that's always got your back.
We'll put the C in collaboration. We are here to promote you in any creative situation. From board games designers to writers of books, anything creative, we know how to cook.
Just starting out, we're here to support you. Let's get you out there to be the next filmmaker guru. So the people with passion,
The people with drive,
those who've got to create,
put their fears aside.
you'll find a way or make one, and where to help make sure that you do. Indie creatives, our hearts will always be true.
So indie creatives,
You're welcome inside.
grab a seat, take a break.
Now that you're part of the tribe,
Never mind that you didn't get that Arts Council bursary,
just chill for a while.
because it's the Outcasts Creative
5th anniversary.
with your host, Landstein Anthony Nielsen. Let's go!
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Outcast Creative 5th Anniversary Week. This is the Nielsen Ratings tonight. Our anniversary show was actually on Sunday in 2 parts. The first part of which is still waiting to be put back up because it had to be edited for special reasons due to a story that we felt probably might go viral and we had to take down. So, yeah, let me bring in the other Nielsen Ratings panel. As usual, my co-host all the way from Texas with the Maxis.
Hello.
It's Stupenzolicious. Hello. Yeah, you dude. I was hoping you were going to pop on the anniversary stream, but didn't see you.
I know. I slept.
That's all
I
right.
was up till like 8 in the morning or some shit. 9 in the morning. I think I was like.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
'cause, yeah. You do a stream on Sundays as well, anyway, don't you?
Right.
So actually, as I was coming down, you would have just been starting, I think. I was going to go a bit later, but yeah, I ran out of steam. I just was like, nah. And then I was also kind of concerned we needed to edit part of the show, so I kind of wanted to get off the live and kind of privatize the stream promptly.
Why?
Yeah. Jason Fleming came on and he told quite a big story about one of the most famous actors in the world, and he was like, "Hang on, we're not live, are we?" And I was like, "Yeah, we are. Of course, we're live." I actually sent him a text saying, "We're live now. It's the anniversary stream. Do you want to come on?" And I said, "Tell us a story." And he told us a story about a certain actor, and it was it was it's not to be repeated in a public setting, shall we say. So yeah, that was funny. Thank you from Lord Toxic for $5. Happy anniversary, Lance. Congrats on all your success. Learned a lot from you and appreciate your dedication to artists. Cheers, brother. Thank you. Well, it's true that I taught Toxic all his sexual moves. Let's bring in the rest of our panel. Got the King of Spiders is here.
Hello.
And the Queen of Spaceships, Admiral Teag.
I'm not sure to take that one, but hi. Hey, what's going on, Al? Hello, Stupenzo.
Well, the Constitution.
I have the original version of that video, by the way, and Hollywood gossip outlets. I am open to the highest bids. So
yeah,
I'll never tell, but I might collaborate for Al.
Yeah, me and Al did a censored version of it where we kind of put like a funny face on Jace every time he said the person's name. But yeah,
sadly, he does a really good impression of the actor, so he's not fooling anybody.
No.
I was glad to hear it. It was enjoyable. That was really enjoyable. You never know what you're going to get here.
I know that was a funny story. Great that we got 12 people watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, put a comment in the chat. I will try and read it out if you've not been here before. This is where we review shows, old and new. We've got quite a few to get through tonight, and that's just between me and Stupenzo until I get to my other guests to see what they've got coming up. But yeah, we're going to review our shows out of 10. It's reviewed out of 10 here, not ABC or 1 to 5. 1 through 10. Anything generally above 7 is usually worth watching. And of course, we don't all agree. This is not an echo chamber panel. The views on the Odyssey were very mixed, very different. To give but one example. Also, today we're going to be looking at the Lord of the Rings season 3 trailer, talking about that briefly. I forgot to put that on.
Why did you call it the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, call it Star Trek Tolkien. That's what it is.
Rings of Power.
Yeah, it's all Lord of the Rings to me, except the Rings of Power isn't really. I'll put my, I'll put my cards on the table and say I'm not a fan of Rings of Power. I tried to give it a fair shake, and I just think the writing is absolutely atrocious.
It's awful, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just about not paying homage to the source material. The writing is genuinely atrocious. The battle scene,
really
taking Tolkien and turn.
Yeah, I mean, let's not go down a whole rabbit hole with that now. But
it's quite interesting though. But they are saying that you can start watching from season 3. Like they're like, ignore the first.
It's all bullshit.
Bollocks.
Yeah,
just start from season 3.
I saw that. I saw the showrunners are now saying yes, there's a time jump, so people can watch from now because it's less shit.
You know those actors we should have paid for 3 more years? We ditched them all, jumped into the future, and now the show's great.
In any event,
Gandalf's in it.
Yeah, Gandalf.
That is one
Gandalf
weird
now.
Gandalf, right? We find out who he is when he sort of like napalms those 3 weird bald ladies and the 2.
We all knew who he was from day one.
Yeah,
I thought he might have been one of the blue
Single
wizards
person on the planet that didn't know that was Gandalf. They should have given him a different look if they wanted it to.
I
like
watched
Khan
Star Trek
in,
Discovery.
Star
I
Trek
was
Into
ready for them.
Darkness. Everyone knew it was Khan. Every single person knew it was Khan.
Yeah,
I wanted to give them some benefit of the doubt, even though it was Star Trek Discovery and I shouldn't have saw it coming. I'm like, canonically, this could be a blue wizard. It could, there was a couple of other possibilities, but it's like, it's so Gandalf. It's like, it's homeless Gandalf. Oh God.
Yeah.
Hobo Gandalf from the
Yes. Yeah.
Before we get into our reviews, I thought Admiral Teag would be really interested in this. So I follow various people on Instagram, and as a result of the people I follow, I get suggested things. I don't follow Variety, but they suggest their posts to me all the time. So this is Ed Harris talking about Dutton Ranch. Have a listen.
Really just it's to get me the fuck out of here, to tell you.
Why is that?
Because I didn't feel I was being used. I didn't feel I felt a little bit misled.
Okay.
Prior
And what was that?
prior to being signing on for it, I was talked quite a bit about what the season was and what my character was going to be, and that I was one of the 4 main characters, and that wasn't really the case.
So did you go to them and say, "Hey, we got to change things up"?
I said I'm feeling underused and inconsequential, and they kind of went, "Oh, they cut the song out." I'm like, "Fuck you, people."
So I like the way he's being interviewed by Fuzzy Bear, which is kind of interesting.
He's the guy. Isn't this the gayest thing ever? I'm surprised he didn't ask.
Yeah, he's terrible. Well,
Yeah,
what's
I mean, I don't know if I've seen that interview before, but God, that's not a voice for the red carpet.
every time you see some red carpet interview,
always they always put him on the red carpet.
every time you see some red carpet interview and the guy's being asked some controversial queer icon question, it's that guy. Like he's literally he's not even like a celebrity red carpet interview. He is a
Guerrilla journalist.
Yeah, no, like a he's meant to just cause
He's there to be
problems.
an agitator, basically.
Less famous, more
agitator.
dysregulated Perez Hilton.
Yeah.
No, his name's Mark something or other. He's terrible.
Good to see you, Axels. Axels is one of the subscribers that came on
Nice to see you.
came on the channel on Sunday. We invited it. We said any subscriber can come on. That could have gone so wrong, by the way. I mean, imagine if Drinker did
more
that.
wrong than it already did.
No, it was good. I thought it was good.
It was a good stream. Yeah, it's a great stream.
It was great fun.
It was rough seeing someone with hair as great as Axel's. I felt.
Yeah, no, he's
politically challenged.
It was good to have someone young and good looking on the panel as well. Which
Yeah. I just could you put my name under his picture?
He sort of brought a sort of like Keanu Reeves kind of surfer look to the show.
I agree.
Which I thought was good. Anyway, okay, so let's try not to all talk at the same time. God, this is the worst panel for people doing that. But we'll get into reviews. But the reason I showed that is because he was asked an honest question, because there were rumours going around that he was not happy with Dutton Ranch. And yeah, he fucking told it like it is. I guess he thought the part was going to be slightly different. He thought the part was going to be larger. I loved him on the show, but I think he's right. I think he was a bit underused. I think his character wasn't. You could have taken his character out of the show, and it wouldn't have. The story would largely trundle on unmolested. He wasn't like a pivot. He wasn't like a. He was a moral anchor, but he wasn't like a story anchor. So. I hope they do something more with him in the second season, or he's probably just going to be written out.
That's been announced. There's going to be something like 3 Everett-centered episodes. So they've addressed his concerns.
Okay.
I believe the problem was, without getting into it again, is Paramount was so broke, they're like, this great actor can't be on the show as much as we wanted him to. So I think that's why when he went and spoke to them, he was probably a little more understanding. Like, look, we got it worked out. Next season, we have a better plan. We had to do what we needed to do. And I would say, if he watched the show as a whole, he knows he's jumping into a good situation next season. It was a great ending.
Well, normally I'd say he just has the misfortune of being a straight white man, but Taylor Sheridan's shows don't tend to go that way.
And of course, if you saw the interview that I did with LaMonica Garrett last week, and if anyone watching, if you haven't seen it, watch it. One of Taylor Sheridan's regular ensemble of actors. He's also got a massive role in Lioness season 3, which is about to drop, and that's another Taylor Sheridan show. And we will be reviewing that show. I might even do a Chew the Fat on Lioness, so that's a homework assignment. So as is Reacher, which is also about to drop, as is the Reacher spin-off show, which we're also going to review. So all 3 of those are must watches for the panel.
God.
But yeah, I got to sort of at the end of the interview, I got to talk about Taylor Sheridan a bit and the impact and how we all talk about the quality of his shows, and in particular hailing things like The Mayor of Kingstown and Landman and so on. And I essentially got to leave a message for Taylor Sheridan, and I now know that he's watched it. So that was nice. So there you go. So maybe I don't know, might have got one step closer to bringing him on. We'll
I'm
see.
jealous that you got to leave him a message. He seems like such a cool guy.
Well, I didn't leave him a message directly. What I did was I left him a message on that interview because I knew there was a good chance that he would watch.
That was
and he did.
Really good one. That was a good interview, and I thought the story about Sam Elliott was great.
Yeah, it was great. It's great stuff. Do check that out. I've got another industry interview tomorrow, which Enzo very kindly has just done me the thumbnail for, with B. Harrison Smith, who is like a sort of super B movie director. He's coming on the channel tomorrow. I know I normally mention these things at the end, but I'll bookend it today because the less well-known guests tend to get less people coming on the live, and the more people we can have interacting with our guests when we're actually interviewing them, the better. So we'll have a quick look at his credentials. You guys can see what he's done. He's got one of the most haunting looks I've ever seen of a director. I mean, I'd be quite, if I was an actor on set, like a young actor, and it was my first film, and this guy was the director, and we were doing a horror movie, I'd be like, man, I don't want to upset this guy. So this is B. Harrison Smith, and he's done a huge number of independent films, horror films in particular, and he's done, I think, about 14 as a director, including a Christmas movie, which I do wonder if Enzo has seen this one, All I Want for Christmas. Did you watch this one?
No.
Impossible.
How can it be that you've not seen this? Because you watch all of these.
Hallmark? Has this got the official Hallmark logo over it? Then no.
I thought you sort of tended to watch like all of them.
I've seen a few, like I said, there's like Real One and a few other copycat studios. Right. I mean, I may have seen this, like not watched the movie, but seen this movie in the list of Christmas shit whenever it came out.
So he's also done, I think there's another one here, A Wonderful Time of Year. That must also, Where the Scary Things Are. You know, remember the thing where the wild things are? So I guess this is a sort of B-movie spoof of that film. And he's done a half dozen or so other horror films. So I've got him coming on tonight. We met because we often comment on each other's posts on Twitter. Camp Dread is the
I've
first.
seen any of his films.
This is Camp Dread, the Eric Roberts seal of quality. So I've got about 9 friends that have worked with Eric Roberts because he gets about. He makes like about 4 or 5 movies a year.
Might have seen that one, Camp Dread. I'm not sure. I mean,
he comes in and does like 3 days for, 3 days for sort of 100K, something like that.
What happened with his daughter's burgeoning career? She was like getting hotter and hotter, taking off, and then just disappears after that Scream movie, which I mean is bad, but hadn't killed anyone's career before.
I don't know. I mean, it may be that she just left the industry, went and had a family, and decided to step out of the rat race because it's a merry-go-round working in the film industry, and not many people survive it. So, it's hard to have a normal life working in that industry. Anyway, he's on tomorrow, so do join me at 8 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll chat to him about his horror films and what he's up to at the minute. All right, let's get into this week's topics of discussion. So I kept getting recommended this, and I kept sort of thinking, oh no, I don't know. The poster looked a bit naff, and as much as I'm a huge Sue Johnson fan, I've met her in life 3 times. And it's so funny. I remember when I first went up to her, I was a bit starstruck. And I said, I really hope you and I get to work with each other in our mutual lifetimes. And she looked at me and went, Christ, no one's ever said that to me before. So I said, well, I really do want to work with you. And yeah, I don't know when that window is going to happen, but it would be good. Anyway, she was in a play with Danny Webb, and I went to see Danny Webb. I think it was Richard III, if I remember rightly. So I got to meet her there, and then I met her again. And I think she also was one of the actresses that signed the card that I did for Liam Neeson when his wife died. So yeah, really nice lady, exceptionally gifted, and generally when she does something, it's usually there's usually a good quality script involved. So, but I just thought it looked a bit naff. But I thought, people keep recommending it, so let me have a look at it. So the basic premise of Android is Sue Johnson's plays a mum who's she's a bereaved widow. Her husband's died. Her son is in an on-off toxic relationship with a girl that's completely using him and is having an affair with her karate instructor, who's this kind of big, beefy American guy. That's kind of the subplot.
BJJ, not karate. BJJ.
I know, but I wasn't going to spoil that. But he's now got back together with his horrible toxic ex-girlfriend, and she said, "You've got to move out, and your mum's got to fend for herself. So you've got to tell her you're leaving her." And so ultimately she's forced to get robot help at home. And the funny thing is we're literally only a few short years away from this being a reality. That is certainly true.
But this is funny because it takes place like somewhat present day, yet we have we have older Android models that are still like in service, like they've been around for a while.
Yeah, and Diane, is it Diane?
Diane Morgan.
Yeah, Diane Morgan, who I first saw playing the character of Smell in This Is England, I think is where she made her debut. She was discovered by British film director Shane Meadows, who me and him sort of started making films in Nottingham together.
Yeah, she does that
Philomena Kunk. Yeah, that show's hilarious.
that is funny. Yeah,
she is an exceptionally gifted actress. She's the driving force behind this show, and I have to say, her performance as the android is fucking phenomenal. She is really, really good. How they managed to keep a straight face when she's doing her lines and doing all her little movements and things, it must have been one of the hardest sets to ever keep a straight face on. And all the actors that they've cast as androids, they really do nail it. They're really funny. This is the guy who plays the son. And yeah, it's a half-hour show. It's a good sort of put it on before bed. It's not particularly demanding of you. This is whether the son works in a music store. The music store owner's a bit of a wanker, and eventually he's able to afford to get an assistant robot to work in the store. So he's planning on firing the son, who he thinks
the son's a wanker though, because he's like a terrible employee.
Mike's useless.
Yeah, the son is a talentless wanker because
he's just another beta cuck male in a BBC show.
Yeah, he's
go figure.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, overall, I thought, although the show did sort of tick all you can see the boxes in the show. For a show to be greenlit as part of a BBC production or co-production, I know this from working in the industry, it goes through this green light process. There used to be executives that could make a decision, like Mao Young back in the day, to green light a show or not. You could get in front of someone like him and you could pitch, and I did. But now it goes through this green light system of committees, and that may or may not account for the drop in quality of some BBC productions, although they do still put out good stuff. But I thought as a fun half hour, you can whack it on. It gives you a few giggles. It weren't bad. And the acting was top notch, and some pretty funny writing. Yeah, some woke stuff, and yeah, some box ticking. Sure, you're going to get that, but it was all right. But Axel Abode thought it was really poor. Z3PO, however, loved it because he is a robot. So he thought, let us know whether you thought the robot representation Z3PO was good in the show. I think almost everybody on the panel watched this. Am I right? Or at least watched
episodes.
I saw episode 1.
Okay. So, Enzo, did you see the whole thing?
I did. I liked it. It was funny. and quirky and charming, and I want to see season 2.
Same.
The cliffhanger at the end of season 1 is like, oh my god, I was like, why are we ending now? Why couldn't we have just 4 more episodes?
Yeah.
You damn Brits with your 6-episode seasons. But yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love Philomena Kunk, and I had heard about this show when it was announced, and it definitely piqued my interest just because of that, woman being in it. And yeah, it's a funny, kind of current day premise dealing with AI and robots and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, a lot of fun situational humor and just really, I don't know, just that classic British dry dialogue and wit. And also, what's her name? The old lady who runs the shop. She was in one of my favorite movies from 2024, The Front Room, with Brandy. She's the insane mother-in-law who pees on herself to anger her daughter-in-law. Oh my god.
Yeah.
She's actually a real a famous acting coach or something, and then she only started working in movies recently.
I've met her. You're talking about
her name is not Catherine Hunter. Her real name is crazy ethnic, and she changed it to that.
But this is who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, because she was an acting coach in New York for quite a long time.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
Yeah,
and like I said, if you want to see this woman really act her balls off, go watch The Front Room. She's incredible in that movie. It's I don't know why that movie. I mean, that movie's a modern day horror movie, The Front Room. Very
I
funny.
saw this with
Brandy.
Didn't this get dropped on Netflix during lockdown or something?
No, this came out in 2024.
Was it
it was one of my favorite. I missed it. I meant to check it out.
It was one of my favorite movies from that year, and nobody saw it. I did get Vex to watch it. She didn't like it. I was disappointed with that.
I did see this. I mean, Brandy and my ex-wife basically look almost identical.
This movie was funny because it was Brandy plays a woke liberal arts professor, and she's an anti-racist and all this stuff, and her mother-in-law is not, to say the least.
Yeah.
So it was good. But anyway, the point is she's awesome in this show too, as the the kindly old neighbor. And this is I watched Android and definitely thought my mom would like it. It's one of those. I think it's a good show for all ages. And yeah, the main character is the mom's great. The son, he's an annoying douchebag, but I think that's kind of the point. And he's also just entitled and lazy and stupid. And
I don't think it would really work if he was a cool son or he has to kind of be a bit of an arsehole for the show to work, really.
Yeah. And like I said, I just found myself laughing a lot at a simple show, and it's really easy to burn through and digest, and it's just a fun, just a fun, lighthearted comedy sitcom with robots, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Great. We'll do scores at the end. Critic Al, what were your thoughts? You saw first 2 episodes, is that right?
Yep, I've seen 2 episodes. I love old BBC comedy, Red Dwarf, Blackadder, anything like that. I love. I hated this show. I really did not enjoy it at all. It didn't get one laugh out of me. I smiled at one of the Danny John Jules jokes, where he's the taxi driver in the beat up taxi. And I think that was it. It was nice to see Danny John Jules. I don't think it's particularly badly acted. I think that Diane Morgan's, her robot impression or whatever, is great. I mean, I didn't realize it was her until I was like, holy crap, that's that Philomena Kunk lady. She is really good. And, Sue Johnson's fine. The rest of the characters, maybe not so much. But it's just really, really bland. There's just nothing. It doesn't commit to anything. It doesn't really. And I've only seen 2 episodes, so it might get better. My missus gave it I'll watch another one pass, so she's going to watch the third one, which means she'll watch the fourth one, which means she'll watch the fifth one, which means she'll watch the sixth one. So
Yeah.
I'll probably end up seeing the whole thing.
I think episode 5 was the funniest by far.
Yeah,
So if you get that far, yeah, maybe I'll think it's a bit better. But I mean, it could be that it's just not for me. But you could see the comedy breaks, and there was just crickets. And
well, I mean,
like,
listen, man, it made me laugh quite a bit.
didn't really tickle me at all. There was a couple of little bits I thought was clever. I might have smirked a little bit, and as I say, I smiled at one of the Danny John Jules jokes. I think it was the bit where he's like, he said he had 4 pints or something like that, and he wanted some 5-star reviews because all his reviews were 1 star or something like that. There's a few clever in his Uber. It's got like a cardboard door, so there's a few clever little bits here and there, but
in the show
there was no spiders. Yeah, 0 out of 10.
I think what makes it more enjoyable is the fact that it's all out. This is like a binge show. If I had to wait every week for an episode, that would have been annoying.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just didn't really feel like it didn't do anything, and maybe it's just not my kind of a show. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I've seen 2 episodes. I will see the third because the missus wants to watch it. So,
well,
maybe I'll change my mind.
Get to see the one where they go on the roller coaster in Southend. That's really funny. Activate.
Oh, what Peter Pan's?
Yeah, that's the third
Adventure
episode where they go to the fun fair.
Yeah,
I used to live next to that.
The fourth episode.
I didn't see that bit coming. I thought they were going to I thought the gag was going to be there was a really funny, stupid thing in the photograph. And then when it's, I don't want to spoil it for Al, but
the fourth episode is the family dinner. The fifth episode is where they go camping, and then the sixth episode is the
I'll give it a chance
episode.
because it's not much of a commitment, as you say. They're half-hour episodes. You can just have it.
It feels like it feels like a 3-hour movie. It's not. Because each episode by itself, like I said, if I had to wait a week for each episode, that would have been lame. If you watch it as like kind of a funny, longer film, because there is like this kind. You watch the mom like she doesn't like the robot. You watch her start to like the robot, and then at the end, when it was time to get rid of the robot, it's like, no, we got to get the robot back. There is this like, you do feel this emotional connection between these 2 ladies. One of them's a robot. She's my best. It was like the Osimo episode of South Park, but it was old ladies and it was a real robot.
Osimo needs bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see the rest of it. As I say, it's not a massive commitment, but didn't do anything for me at all.
Okay, Admiral Teag, you just saw the pilot, I think.
I saw the first episode, and I think the show has a lot of possibilities. I mean, I'm hearing 2 slightly divergent versions of where it's going. It strongly reminded me of a show that I watched because it was interesting more than it was good. I saw like maybe 6 of the 15 episodes of the show. Anyone remember Humans?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so in Humans, it was very similar, but more serious, right? Like, this woman has a medical condition, and that's why she needs the robot. And in the first episode, I thought it was pretty funny how programming your new robot is a lot like personalizing your cell phone and getting your AI to understand what you want it to be. And it's just like making too many overriding suggestions. And so I was able to enjoy that. And I did think the son was a loser, but hey, I'm a loser, and he cares about his mom, so that's good enough for me. This could still go somewhere. I'm not familiar with the cast. I haven't seen their other work, so this is their body of work to me. But episode 1 was entertaining. It earned an episode 2, but it was like a lighter version of Humans.
Yeah,
if they go on,
is like the grounded, serious version of this show. And Danny Webb is in Humans, and I do talk about that on my first interview with Danny. We talked about his time on Humans.
It was really interesting, but slow. This show,
the show is more reserved. It's not like, don't expect anything too bombastic in this show. It is kind of quaint, is how I would describe it.
Yeah, quaint's a good word for it.
It's like I said, it's charming, it's funny, it's pleasant, it's not too demanding. It was cute. I thought it was good.
All right, Enzo, rating out of 10, and this is Humans for people who haven't seen it before.
Yeah, as far as Android, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 just because it did make me chuckle a bunch. Like episode 5 alone is very, very, very funny when they go camping.
Yeah, I like the dinner scene where the girlfriend keeps saying, "You can't eat that because it's poisonous and it will give you cancer." Is that true? No.
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 Oh, what is she? There's so many great lines that she has where she's like, I have already verified that because she says, "Oh, I'm an idiot." Nonsense, Sue. I've already verified that your IQ is 120 to 130 range. So I'm a genius? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that was funny.
Just a lot of blunt robot dialogue. That's the thing about Android. Linda is her name. She's very blunt.
Names her after her sister or something, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's like,
I
"Oh,
hate
that's so
my sister."
lovely. I hated my sister."
Her sister, who was annoying. Yeah, I give it the same rating. I give it an 8 because it entertained me. It made me laugh. I didn't have to think too much. I thought the dialogue was pretty fun and snappy.
If it didn't get so many laughs out of me, I probably would have given it a more average rating, 6 or 7.
Yeah,
but
same.
I did laugh a bunch. I
think Critic does suffer from grumpyitis a bit. So plus also he does have a cricket farm. So when he's not laughing, he literally can just hear the crickets.
You got to get really ripped, bro, before you watch the show, man.
Maybe that I just didn't get drunk first. I want to give it a 4. That's what I want to give it. For me personally, I want to give it a 4 because I just didn't find it funny. I found it pretty cringe at times. I didn't particularly like the way that any of the characters go. Like, there's no accountability on the woman who was shagging a BJJ instructor. The guy is just a cuck. He's useless. He's going to lose. It's all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, look,
there is like catharsis with that whole thing towards the end.
I've seen it so many times now, so it might improve. I want to give it a 4, but a 4 I think is unfair. So I think it gets a 5. Because I don't think it's badly made or anything. Maybe it's just not for me. There's some stuff I find hilarious.
The first 2 episodes are, definitely like the weaker ones,
Yeah, Axel just said the same thing. So
yeah, it does get better.
It's not a hard watch. It just did nothing. It's a flat, for me, it was just a flat line.
The first 2 episodes, first episode especially, is like, pushing against this robot idea, but once she starts like using the robot and like enjoying the robot, that's where the show really
it's like that. They do talk about that though.
This is a model you absolutely cannot have sex with this model because it's an older model, but there are sex bots that are mentioned in later episodes, and
it's so obvious that the white guy the older white dude is being inappropriate with his sex bot, or not his sex bot, but his robot, which he's also
like in love with, or he's very
in the charity shop, he's very taken by it. She puts the throw on and he's just like like that. It didn't do anything for me, but it's not necessarily a bad show. So I'm gonna say 5.
Admiral Teag, based on episode 1 only, of course, in your case.
This show has potential. Episode 1, I was closer to Critic Al, as I was amused. I did laugh a couple of times when some of the robot android gear went off, like our little internal disco light turned on a couple of times. Like, that did make me laugh here and there. So I got 2 out loud laughs out of this half hour. So as everyone said, it's an easy watch. Like, as far as a pilot goes, it might be slow. It's building up speed. I would say it's probably hanging around in a 7, but later episodes might raise that, because if it's a good basis, it being a little slower and a little less funny is worth it.
Okay. Miss Sparkles has said, I'm on our side. Your two's opinions on movies are all over the place, and Enzo has weird taste in movies. My response to you, Miss Sparkles, is my taste is measured only against. Let's rephrase this. My taste in movies is measured against only the gods.
The Odyssey is good because it gave me this hard blind definition on if I liked a movie or not, and it's a simple question, five questionnaire, yes or no, binary answers. Did I watch the whole thing? Yes.
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? Yes. Would I recommend it to someone else? Yes. Oh, was I entertained watching it? Yes. And then would I pay for it? Or if I did pay for it, did I not feel ripped off? you know, kind of thing. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are fair enough in sort of.
I think also,
objective.
did it make you laugh? Which is
Yeah, entertained. Yeah, because like there's movies that I watched and you liked them and they were good, but you weren't really entertained by them. They were like,
I don't remember the Odyssey making me laugh, but you also to forget the other difference is these three guys actually have souls. So, you know, actually,
So, all right, we're gonna move on to another show, which I don't think any of you will have seen. Now, one of the shows that a lot of people watched in lockdown was The Staircase, which was both a documentary series and then there was a drama series with Colin Firth, and that was one of the last shows that I watched with my ex-partner, and to be honest, I didn't. There was so much going on at the time with breakups and things. I didn't really absorb the show. I mean, obviously, I knew what it was about, and I remember the story and how it finished, but I didn't really watch it. If you know what I mean. So I decided to have that on in the background whilst working this week, and that made me look at the director's other work, because the director is a French director, documentary filmmaker called Jean-Xavier de Lestrade. I've actually invited him to come on. And one of his earlier pieces was a true story drama. It's 6 episodes, and it's about the murder of a young French girl. She was 18 at the time in Brittany, and it's called Letitia, which is the name of the girl. She was one half of a twin. What's interesting about this series is the case of itself is not particularly there isn't kind of a weird set of circumstances. There isn't like an unlikely murderer. We know who the murderer is quite quickly. It takes a while to find out exactly what happened to her and where she is. Where this show is really good is he does a bit of a Chris Nolan, but he does it in the right way. So there are 3 timelines. There's a timeline when the twins are kids, and you see the difficult upbringing they had and why they were put into foster care. And they've got foster parents, and they've also got 2 separate parents. And that dynamic is really interesting. What they also do is they then show you the childhood and the upbringing of the perpetrator, the guy who committed the crime, and what he went through as a kid and how he was rejected by his mother and all of this stuff. And you don't normally get that kind of insight into the murderer. So that I thought was really unique and quite interesting. It's extremely well acted, very well shot by a really committed French cast. It took me a while to track it down because it's obviously at one point it was on Amazon, at one point it was on Netflix. It's not there now. But there are 6 45-minute episodes. I'm just come to the end of episode 4 before the show, and I have to say it's up there with the best. It's up there with the Danish show The Killing. It's up there with the top sort of other French dramas. It's up there with The Staircase, and again, it's a true story. This is the other twin who survives, and the acting in this is really first class. I'm guessing no one else has seen it, and I know not everybody likes the true crime stuff as much as I do, but is anyone enticed?
No.
I don't want to see this miserable shit. Okay, well, it's
Didn't
good.
come here to lie to you.
No, that's fine. It's good. I do recommend it. It gets a 9 out of 10 from me, although I still got 2 episodes to go. So that's based on the first 4 episodes. But it gets a 9 out of 10. Of course, the other thing that came about as a result of this is I've been rewatching The Staircase. This was a massive success. Both the documentary made the filmmaker's career. He got a deal to do his next show as a result of this. It was both a drama series and a documentary. So what's really interesting about this case, which is it's a famous American did he or didn't he do it husband wife murder case, where she may or may not have fallen down a staircase. She may or may not have been attacked by an owl. And Colin Firth plays the husband.
Sorry, did you say an owl?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. You need to look into the case. So It's got a
Harry
first,
Potter.
it's got a first-class cast, including Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones in one of her first kind of non-Game of Thrones roles, and she's very good in this. Toni Collette plays the victim. Patrick Schwarzenegger is in it. He's very good as well, one of his early roles. Parker Posey, who is just fucking great in everything she's in. Juliette Binoche. What's interesting about the drama series is 2 episodes in, the film crew turn up, who because they're part of the story, because they turn up to make the documentary, because Michael Peterson, the man on trial for the murder of his wife, agrees to be filmed by them. So they become characters in this version of it, because this is the drama version of the whole story. So you've got actors playing the documentary filmmakers in a drama about that documentary, about the original murder case, which is quite bizarre when you try and wrap your head around that. It's a really interesting series because it doesn't definitively state, it doesn't push you one direction or another. You're conflicted all the way through this as to whether this guy really did this or whether she fell and it was an accident. And they show you multiple possibilities. So you actually see different versions of what may or may not have happened. One of my other favorite actors that's in this is Michael Stuhlbarg. He's been in absolutely loads of stuff in the last 10, 15 years. His career has just gone through the roof, and he's one of the best character actors working today. But did anybody watch this or watch the docu series when it came out? Because it was massive. It was huge.
No,
I hadn't heard of this, and I'm an American, but it's kind of interesting. And I mean, owls. I mean, don't sell them short. They're dangerous, predatory birds.
Yeah, I mean, it's because I'll tell you how that came about. Because a piece of evidence that was dismissed was in her hand. She had feathers, and it turned out later that these feathers were from a rare breed of owl that are known to be very aggressive, and they were nesting in the tree right outside the entrance to going inside the house from the patio. So one of the theories is that, and they had a problem with bats on the property as well, is that the owl may have attacked her, and she fended herself away from it, and that's what caused her
on the stairs.
Yeah, well, caused her to get to run into the house, to run upstairs, and then she fell over, or it could have happened upstairs and she came down. They're not really sure, but the fact that she had these feathers grasped in her hand was really unusual, and they got mistaken for something else. And they
Great police work in that one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not sure whether he was innocent or guilty. It's a convoluted case. He was having affairs, so he's not he's not like a guy with a clean sheet. He lied about having a Purple Heart in Vietnam when he was running for office. So it's a complex case, but that's what makes it interesting.
I think I remember the stolen valor guy whose wife did die. I think that does. Okay. Now that's right. It was a long time ago, wasn't it? This is like, he might be out even if he got convicted. Like, this 20 years ago.
No, he's out. He's out. The actual murder case happened in 2000, either 2001 or 2002.
Okay.
The trial went on for several years. He did get convicted. It's not really a big spoiler telling you that, because that's all.
Yeah, I mean, 22 years. We've had 23 years to catch up with him.
But he also got out early, and there's reasons why that happened as well. So something called an Alford plea, which is, I'd never even heard of it before. So it's quite. If you're into your courtroom dramas, this one is at the top of the tree, because it covers a number of elements of the law that I was completely unfamiliar with. And as
in America, he could say whatever he wants too, Lance. Once he's freed for a crime he's been convicted of, like, there's no double jeopardy. Like, he could just be like, yeah, I did it. And like, there'd be nothing anyone could do.
No, he certainly hasn't done that. And like I said, it's a complex drama show, but true story dramas with a top-notch cast. This is up there with the O.J. Simpson drama that they made. It's that level of quality. It's that level of cast. In some ways, this show is even better. So if you want a good drama show, The Staircase. I can't believe no one on this panel has seen it, because it was one of those things. This one came out right before Tiger King, and people were looking for shows to binge, and this is one that landed on Netflix just as the pandemic was starting.
We're all just uneducated heathens, basically.
Well, a lot of people were still running around with their, like chickens with their heads cut off. So, but
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of television. I've not watched terrestrial television in 20 years. So when I do watch stuff, it's on streaming packages and things like that. So yeah, a lot of stuff passing by, but I mean, it sounds interesting at least. I'm intrigued by the owl aspect.
I actually think Critic Owl, see what I did there? I actually think you'd probably quite like this. I just think the level of quality of it, direction, acting, writing, it's not got a weak element to it. And
it's got one hell of a cast, that's for sure.
And the fact that it's a true story.
And I presume Patrick Schwarzenegger is exactly who we think he is.
He is. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, and you know what? He's a pretty good actor, actually. I have to say.
I've never seen him in anything, so I'd be intrigued to see it just from that perspective.
This is one of his first roles, but Colin Firth. This is one of Colin Firth's. It's like the performance of his career.
Really?
He has to play loads of layers for this guy, because there's a really funny scene in the first episode where he's chatting with his wife. He's got guests around the house. The kids are there, and he's on the phone, and he's saying, "Yeah, sure, coming, honey." And then he's like on the phone, and he's like, "So you're going to get your ass pounded, right?" And then and you've been seeing this kind of like clean family man, and then you're like, "Hang on, who's he talking dirty to on the phone? What's going on here?" Talking about pounding someone's ass, and that all sort of becomes relevant later when you find out the other things that have been going on in his life. Well, I don't want to give any spoilers away.
I presume he's playing an American, so he's got killer American.
Yeah. Spot on accent. Michael Stuhlbarg first came to my attention when he played Lucky. Did he play Lucky Luciano, or the one who outlived everybody else? Who was part of that original Al Capone gangster era set. There was one gangster that outlived everybody else who never went to prison. It might be Lucky, I forget, but he
did time for all of World War II. He was only allowed to run around free because he helped the government. I'm
gonna have to look it up now. But anyway, that's when I first saw him. He was on Broadwalk Empire, and I met his sister at a networking event, actually. And she was like, "Oh, my brother's a well-known actor," and which was even like Arnold Rothstein. That's who he plays. Rothstein.
Okay. I recognize that name. By the way, Lucky's buried up the street. His mausoleum always has fresh flowers to this day outside at St. John Cemetery in Queens. Walk by, you'll see him.
This would be a good show to do a Chew the Fat on at some point, to do a Broadwalk Empire kind of mega stream. Talk about that, because that was a good show. Yeah, White Lotus season 3. Very true. Anyway, I recommend The Staircase. It's a 9. I'd say it's a 9.5 show for me. Really, really good quality drama. I'm really enjoying rewatching it, because I don't have the turmoil of what was going on in my life around me, this time around, and I don't focus well on stuff when I've got that kind of trauma going on in my life. So this time I'm really kind of looking at the performances, looking at the direction, listening to the dialogue, and really appreciating just what a top quality show it is. The documentary series is also very good, and I think they re-released it to go alongside this, and I do remember watching some of that as well. But I would suggest that if you're going to watch one of them, I'd recommend this one above the two. So do check it out. It's out there and easy to find. So Enzo, you've not seen it, have you? The Staircase?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, talking of Enzo, we're gonna move on to you've got a couple of things to talk to us about. 3 things, in fact. So let's get to the first one. Which one do you want to cover first, buddy?
Let's talk about Broken Bird. I watched this movie last night, and it was the thing is, I watched the whole thing. I wasn't really entertained by it, but I probably would watch it again. It's one of those movies that works better as like a scary story. You know, like if I told you what it was about, that would be better than just watching the whole movie. It wasn't. It was disappointing, but also like there was a moment towards the end where I was like, "Oh, damn, that is twisted." But the movie is kind of told in this, I don't know, kind of tedious manner, and it is kind of dry and boring, and there's not really any good like scares or anything in it. But yeah, it's this twisted movie about this lady who's a mortician, and she is not right in the head. And we find out, you know, she was like, her whole family was killed in a car crash when she was a young girl, and she's very lonely. She does taxidermy and poetry as a hobby. She meets this handsome man at a museum, and she runs into him at some other places, but he has a girlfriend, right? And, you know, it kind of adds to her loneliness. But then, randomly, out of the blue, this dude's dead body shows up to her funeral home because he's died in a car crash. And she develops like a romantic relationship with this dude's cadaver, and she becomes super like possessive and jealous of the girlfriend who wants to like see. I want to see him, you know. I want to view the body, and she, you know, she looks at the body for a few seconds, and then she's like, "All right, that's enough. You gotta leave now. Time for you to go." And then
She
there's
does
this other.
sound like a broken bird.
Yeah. There's this B plot too of this police officer woman who is on a sabbatical, and she's drinking a lot and has something to do with her child. And we find out over the course of that's the thing about the movie is like it's like giving you little pieces at a time, which was tedious. But yeah, you find out eventually that her son died due to a negligence, jumped out of a window when she wasn't paying attention. And she feels guilty about that. Her marriage dissolved, but what's really crazy, what's really driven her over the edge, is at the funeral, which happens to be the same funeral parlor that this woman worked at years ago. The child's body went missing, and they never found it. And then we find out that, of course, she took the body. We find out that she has. This is not the first time she's done some weird shit with a dead body. You know, she's got this crazy idea to, like, I'm getting married. She's going to quit. She tells her boss, like, at the mortuary place, I'm going to quit. I met a man, we're in love, and I'm pregnant. And he's like, really? Okay. I'll be leaving tomorrow. And then there's, like, another, like, weird twist involving the guy who owns the place, too, that's not worth mentioning. But what's really crazy, the part that really got me, was so she has a big confrontation with the girlfriend, and she drugs her, and she falls asleep. And then they have a funeral for the man, and the reason why she hates the girlfriend is she thinks that the girlfriend is having an affair with this guy that's, like, comforting her after her boyfriend dies, and it turns out that's her brother. And the priest tells the brother at the funeral, like, hey, your sister didn't show up. That is not abnormal for really close relatives to the deceased to not show up to the funeral. And she's going to need extra help and care and stuff. You know, she's probably grieving really bad. But what we don't know is that the crazy bitch swapped the bodies. So she took the boyfriend's body for her own sick carnal pleasures, and she put the drugged woman in the funeral coffin. So the girlfriend gets buried alive at the end of the fucking episode, at the end of the movie. And then she runs off with the funeral, the dead body, and then a house burns down, and the police shows up, and it wasn't very good. But like I said, that one twist was kind of made the whole movie kind of worth watching. But still, like I said, it was
apart from now because you've told us.
Like I said, this is better than watching the movie. This is what I just did. I just gave you all the goods. You know, don't worry.
You sped up.
So, yeah, I mean, it was an original story. I'll give it that. But like I said, it had some good direction, like blocking and stuff. But I hated that cinematography. It had that low contrast muted colors look that everything has, and it's just really dry. And it was twisted, but it wasn't scary. It was just kind of weird, you know. So I would give it like a 4 out of 10. I mean, 5 just because points for originality. You know, it did get me kind of, you know, like the whole movie I was kind of bored, and then one point towards the end I was like, oh shit, and that's about it, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, it was okay. And then another movie I was disappointed with. I was actually excited to see this movie. And this is kind of more proof that I'm not just a contrarian when it comes to what I like and dislike. Seems like everyone dislikes this, but I did go see Her Private Hell by the new Nicholas Winding Refn movie.
Okay.
And I was excited for it because I love Drive and Neon Demon and Only God Forgives. And this movie did feel like, yeah, the guy's kind of just copying himself at this point. The story is baffling. Bizarre, incoherent, stupid. It's weird. But yeah, the story's, it's kind of like a sci-fi thriller. It takes place in this vaguely Asian city. Yeah, I can't tell if it's Korean or Japanese. And it's entrenched in fog. And they say when the fog comes back, the serial killer starts killing again. His name is the Leatherman. And what's crazy about this movie is there is this fun, like, dynamic between this girl and her friend, because her little cute Asian friend is now her stepmother because her dad started banging her and married her. But the movie's really, the cool thing about the movie is it looks amazing. Every frame is just oozing style, dude. It's insane.
Amazing aesthetic.
So you should definitely watch it just for that kind of vibe. If you want something really, I would say you would like the movie if you got really baked and watched it to laugh at it. You might enjoy it a lot and just get real tripped out because the cinematography's fucking ace. The set design's amazing. The costumes are awesome. The actresses,
I like Sophie Thatcher too.
Dude, all the actresses are hot as hell. But it's a really horny movie, and there is a sex scene, but there's no nudity. We don't see any tid, which is points deducted. I know. How hard is it for these bitches to just get naked?
Dude, there are other movies to satisfy your needs.
No. Like Sophie Thatcher has like a sex scene, but like, why can't she take her top off? Why do they have to have fully clothed sex scenes nowadays? It's lame. But also, yeah, the plot is interesting because it goes from like being extremely vague and baffling to like extremely on the nose. She literally says, like, this scene, the father leaves and he's like, "Here, dear, hopefully you and your stepmother can bury the hatchet." And then he gives her a golden hatchet, which later she uses to chase her stepmother around with, you know. It's just so literal at times, and then also so vague and metaphorical. I have no idea what this movie's actually about. I know it's something about, there's like a police officer looking for his daughter. There's a lot of weird father-daughter relationships in this movie. Something about that. Just like Only God Forgives, something about getting the guys... The leather man can only be killed if you cut off both of his hands. It's super weird. The score is really bombastic and classical. I would have liked more of a synth kind of score for this, but the score worked for what it was. Like I said, it was just a really incoherent, strange movie. I wanted to like it. The other people in the theater that I saw it with obviously didn't like it. Everyone left like they were snickering.
Oh, really?
It was a weird one. Let me just put it mildly. And like I said, it is basically Only God Forgives meets Neon Demon, and both of those movies are way better than this. But if you did really love those movies, and you like, I don't know, smoking pot and looking at cute chicks and crazy bisexual lighting, it's probably worth a watch. Yeah, maybe the director will come out and explain what this movie is actually about, and it'll get a few extra points for clicking in my head, like, oh, that's what the director was trying to say. I love Valhalla Rising too. Yeah, I like a lot of NWR movies. I was excited for this one, but yeah, I can't. The thing is, like, did I watch the whole thing? Yes. Was I entertained? Yes. I was very confused, and I was looking at how trippy everything looked, and I enjoyed that. Would I watch it again? Maybe years from now.
Is it the bisexual lighting that got you confused, or
Yeah, could I recommend it to other people? Not necessarily. Like I said, maybe if you're a fan of those other two movies, I could recommend it to you. But also, did I feel like I got ripped off? Like, yeah, I would wait for streaming or whatever on this movie. I don't think this movie's worth the price of admission.
It has
It'd be
not
cool-
got good reviews on IMDb.
No,
I think
no.
is this the Waking Life with Ethan Hawke, the animated weird thing from
Yeah.
2001? Yeah.
So Saturday I showed Molly Macabre, whatever, however you pronounce her name, Moomy. She wanted to watch Dazed and Confused, or not Dazed and Confused, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, we should do this and Waking Life, double feature. And a bunch of people have seen Fear and Loathing, and that movie's fun and hard to get through, and it's awesome. But Waking Life, it's not a movie about drugs. It's a movie for when you're on drugs. But this movie, it just solidified that it's one of my favorite movies of all time, watching it again years later, because I watched this movie a whole lot when I was in my 20s, and then I watched it a few more times in my 30s, and now I'm 40, and I watched it for the first time, and yeah, I love this movie. A bunch of the people that did watch this all the way through also loved it. And this is one of those movies, if you like podcasts, this movie's basically like a podcast. It's one of Richard Linklater's early movies. Before Scanner Darkly, this was his first attempt to rotoscope a movie. And it's a movie set in the dream world, sort of. And yeah, the movie's great because at first it seems, I thought the movie would have aged poorly. Like it's, it's pretentious, it's cringy. But no, I feel like a lot of the discussions that are being had, it's a lot of waxing going on. I felt like a lot of that would have aged poorly, but no, I feel like it's more relevant today than ever. The stuff they're talking about, and it's crazy because like this movie's post 9/11, which is insane because this feels like 1999 2000 type movie. Oh, 2001. So I guess maybe it did come out pre 9/11.
It was probably shot before 9/11 at least.
Because post 9/11, everything was about, patriotism and we all need to stand together. But like before 9/11, we had Matrix and Office Space and Fight Club, Resisting, Waking Up. Alex Jones is in this movie.
Is it an anthology?
So it's an interesting story because it's like this guy, it's a bunch of like seemingly unconnected story, like not even stories, it's just people having conversations. Kind of like Slacker. If you've seen Richard Linklater's Slacker, it's just a bunch of people having like these really heady conversations about dreams and your waking life and destiny and various other like metaphysical stuff and what is destiny, what is fate, various heady conversations that seem all pretty unconnected. And but then like around like the hour point is where we start actually finding out what the movie's actually about, and it gets really interesting. And yeah, I mean the movie has this like it's definitely like if you like podcasts, imagine a podcast that was animated as if you were on mushrooms, right? But it's a bunch of little podcast style conversations, and it's all filmed around Austin and Texas area. But the thing is, like when you do find out what the movie's about, I think there is this kind of, it does have this great kind of resolution at the end of what it actually, there is like a story, and I don't want to spoil this one. But yeah, it's just a really interesting watch, and it's just really trippy and heady, and it's one of those movies that might change your life a little bit. There's a great line in this movie where he says, and I've always said it and I agree, it's like this is the most exciting time we could ever possibly be alive. And when you watch a movie like this, especially when this movie came out, like to this day I've still never seen anything quite like this movie 20 years later, which is great.
Yeah.
It's like the Romeo.
Might check it out.
Yes. Yeah, like the Romeo plus Juliet movie. Like, you don't know what to think of it when it came out, but now here we are 30 years later. It's like, no, there's nothing like that movie. There's nothing like that movie.
Question from Miss Sparkles. Why did we just get a close-up of Al's face, Lance? Laugh out loud. Because you can never have enough close-ups of Al.
He's handsome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
He was hoping I might have found a spider.
Goes that saying. You don't need to provide a spider every episode, right?
Yeah. What are
can
our
you-
dreams? I would give this movie a 10 out of 10, man, because it does exactly what it sets out to do.
Damn.
And it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I thought I would watch it again and think, oh, it's a little dated. But like I said, I felt it was even more relevant, even more relatable, even more.
It doesn't come
poignant.
across as like pretentious or anything like that.
Private
No?
Hell, your rating is what?
It's a little pretentious, but like I said, I thought it was going to be. It is very art house, you know. It's very experimental.
I'm kind of getting that from the animation. How often does the animation change? Is it constantly changing, or?
Yeah, so each
Is it
scene
just
is
per
like animated.
section?
So yeah, each section is animated by different animators, and unlike Scanner Darkly, where the rotoscoping is really clean and precise, it's the dream world. So like, there's a lot of stuff like just floating around, and it's just very like disorienting.
Honestly, some of it just looks like it's been done by somebody who can't draw, which is always a little bit of a,
it's very rough.
Interesting, man. I think I might have to check this one out.
Give me a
If
rating.
you like drugs and dreams and podcasts, check it out.
Enzo, rating out of 10 for the other two movies.
Like I said, I would. Oh, the other two, yeah, Broken Bird, I'd give like a 4 out of 10.
Okay,
and then and I would say her Private Hell, I would give like a 5 out of 10 just because it looks so awesome. 6 out of 10 maybe.
Okay.
Like I could probably take footage. You could totally take footage from her Private Hell and just like sample it and put cool music over it and use it as like projector visuals. You know, it's one of those movies.
All right.
So, I mean, it's not totally worthless.
We thank you very much for those. We're going to move on. We're going to look at a couple of trailers now and discuss. And actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to show both trailers, and you can tell me, and then we'll discuss, and you can tell me which one you're more excited for, or which one appeals to you more of these two. Before we come on to Critic and Admiral's choices for the week. So let's have a look at this one first. Goes to a series.
I hope it's
but
a movie.
If somebody wants to check, I will talk about that in a minute. Then we've got this one to also have a look at. So let's have a butcher's. This
It's a mini series.
Thank you.
No.
Really?
Quite different project. Now, I will say regarding the Rings of Power, even though there's just so many travesties I could talk about in that trailer. There are some things in that trailer that look all right. There's some quite nice visuals. There's some quite nice shots. There's a couple of really cool stunts. What kind of annoys me is that the bringing in the ring wraiths, or the 9, as it seems they're doing this season. And I know there's a time jump. Apart from the fact that that's wrong, what happens with them is they are 9 leaders of 9 different kingdoms, and they gradually get corrupted. And the process by which they become evil is very gradual. It's not something that happens overnight. They don't get like poisoned and suddenly turn into an evil. I can put an evil mask on. So I'm going to be interested to see how that's handled, because the story, we could have had a mini series called The 9 about those 9 leaders that got corrupted, and that could have been a really interesting series on its own. That could have been a great.
They're calling them something different, aren't they? They're not Nazgul, they're like the Nazgul.
I don't think they're going to be
something.
They're going to be stand-ins and like pre-Nazgul. It's like, I'm like working on an experiment here. I have some proto necklaces. They'll be better when I make them into rings. But these guys, they're princes. They'll turn into my slaves to my will. I don't think they'll be the real Nazgul. They've played that game this whole show.
Yeah. Well, look, let's just go round. I'd like to hear from anything that you saw in the trailer that you thought actually looked all right or looked good. Al? Anything? No. Okay.
No, honestly, these guys have shown for 2 consecutive seasons that not only do they just not get it, that they aren't up to writing to the standard of Tolkien or to the style of Tolkien, but more than that, that they are anti-Tolkien. They effectively do things.
I get that, and we can talk
that
about that a
he
little
wouldn't
bit. I don't
do.
want to spend too much time going down that rabbit hole because it's
So
not
a lot
what we
Amazon
do here. But
keep throwing millions and millions and millions of dollars at this, and I'm sure it will look like it's worth money. I have no interest in watching it whatsoever.
did only 1/2 foot survive season 2? I don't even remember how
Good.
On too many.
They were horrible. Yeah.
too many. Token elf.
Al and I are on the same page.
Simon Pegg is the Balrog. I know that's a weird
That's
thing.
going to be. There's going to be a flood of these terrible Rings of Power shows. I think they're the ones licensing Stephen Colbert's Tom Bombadil show. You know,
I think that was Warner Brothers actually,
Oh God,
because they've still got the film license.
Yeah.
Better minds than him have passed on that and said it can't be filmed, and he's going to fix it. No way.
By the way, happy birthday from the entire panel. Axe, I did not know it was your birthday today. Hope you're having a good one, buddy. So
Happy
no
birthday.
cast 50 Cent as Balrog. That's gonna be
50
He's
Cent.
from my part of Queens. I know him. I would be down with
that's gonna be
Balrog.
so funny.
Off the Real Pod. Good to see you, buddy. Off the Real Pod and me are going to be doing a chew the fat on something real soon. So we're going to be doing a Sunday special at some point. Yeah, okay. Enzo, was there anything in the trailer that you liked?
No, I mean, I'm not going to see it. I didn't watch the first 2 seasons, but the idea of like orcs fighting alongside the humans.
Yeah, that's pushing it a bit.
Well, it's like one of those things that like, you know, like when you're a young, you know, the idea of like Dungeons and Dragons and you have like an orc on your campaign team is interesting. And like the only way the orc on fighting for the humans works is if like the orc, you know, the orc is untrustworthy, unholy, kind of unlikely alliance. And, you know, we don't really trust each other. And then like the orc ends up betraying the humans anyway, you know, like that's the only way it works. Like, oh, I actually sold out my orc brethren so I could just like, you know, promote myself in the orcs colonies and then eventually just,
Well,
you know,
the
you
thing
can't.
is, Tolkien was very specific about good and evil.
Yeah,
Very
he
specific about good and evil.
Yeah.
And you had absolute evil and you had absolute good. Now, obviously, the ring was a corrupting influence, and you know, there's a bit of that. But what they're trying to do with Rings of Power is they're trying to make it all Games of Thrones like, where you've got shades of grey and you've got different affiliations and that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't work.
Well,
they're not
like
the
way
same
you would
universe.
do the way you would do
it.
the orc thing, the way you would do like unlikely alliance with an orc would be, you know, the enemy of my enemy type thing. So you have like an orc outcast by the other orcs, and
total
he,
desperation,
you know,
or
is going,
something like that.
total desperation. We don't trust him, but then you have to show at the end that it was right not to trust the orc because he does something terrible. You know, you cannot align yourself with evil, you know, even if it seems like the right choice. Like, that has to be the message.
I mean,
the only
without
way
going
this
too
would
much
work
of a
if the
rabbit
orc
hole-
betrays them. Yeah, the only way it
Or
works is
if
if the
you're
orc
half
betrays
an
them
orc.
all in the end.
Without going
if
too
you're
much
a
of a rabbit
half-human
hole.
orc.
Sorry, Teag, carry on.
A half-human orc also could tend towards good, because in this stupid show, the orc commander, if I remember correctly from season 1 that I watched, he alone cared about his soldiers in the military conflict. The elves and the humans threw the lives of their soldiers away without caring
Wouldn't
at
surprise me
all.
in the
But
slightest. I mean, in the last
the orc
season, we had
guy
the
That would
didn't
mean
want
family.
someone would have to fuck an orc.
Well,
I think
Hey,
they
man,
were
if you
trying
have
to
enough-
take
if you have
that
enough
under
pints-
control.
one at a time. Yeah, I mean, Darth Plato's nailed it on the head. Tolkien orcs are actualized to evil, which is why they are the way they are. Also, the analogy that Enzo used is a good one, because it's basically the scorpion and the frog. You know, the scorpion says, "Hey, let me across the river on your back," and the frog says, "No, you'll sting me because you're a scorpion." No, I won't.
The orc fighting along the humans can only work if the orc ends up doing something fucking horrific and evil at the end and betraying
Well,
everybody.
it won't be. They're trying to soften the orcs. They're trying to
You can't judge me based on my orc skin.
exactly.
Miss Sparkles is down for dating an orc. You heard it here.
But I was going to say, I think that the Rings of Power is a worse subversion of a idea of a book of an IP than Chris Nolan's Odyssey could ever be considered to be.
This is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I
it's
would
worse.
say
It's
that-
I think they did Lord of the Rings dirtier in this show than like Star Wars and
Yeah.
Oh,
This,
gotcha.
Star
Yeah.
Trek.
this is the biggest sin.
They've all been bastardized, but and I'm not even the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, but like, and I haven't even watched Rings of Power. I didn't like the Hobbit movies,
Oh,
but
God, that's Eddie
They were
Marsan.
online.
I know this guy.
This is the real shame, actually, is there's quite a few good actors in Rings of
There's
Power.
lots of good actors. Lots of good actors. The cast are generally pretty strong.
This
you know-
creative team is good at sweeping people off their feet and making them offers. You can see in cast interviews, it's dawning on some people because they don't let them see what they're filming until the end.
Yeah,
The veteran actors are always, except your beloved Lenny Henry. What a wonderful individual he is. But the veteran actors have always sniffed out that they've been conned. Like one guy's like, I can't believe I moved. Like one of their actors literally said in the publicity for season 1, I guess selling the house in LA was a mistake. I won't be back, but what a great experience. It was, like it seems like it's a nightmare to work for them.
I mean, well,
it's still the same showrunners.
Sam Hazeldine, who he took over the villain role, and I know both the actors. I know Joe, who played him in season 1, and Sam Hazeldine lives up the road from me. And I knew his father. I met his father. His father came to see. His father was a very well-known actor, James Hazeldine. Came to see my first play in London. I invited him, and he came, which was so sweet of him. And sadly, no longer with us. And Sam and I met for the first time in a restaurant about 2 years ago, just after he'd finished filming season 2. And the first thing I said to him was, "What was it like on the set? Was it, did you feel like?" Were scripts being rewritten or stuff like that? And he actually spoke to me about it quite freely, and he said it was one of the best shoots he'd ever been on. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were really organized and they looked after him really well. And obviously it was a bit daunting coming in, taking over another role from an actor because the actor was recast. So I don't think he didn't have a bad time. I know the first shoot was very chaotic because that all got broken up because of COVID. Originally it was going to shoot in New Zealand, then it got pulled back to England, and it was a lot of that cost a lot of money, all that fucking about.
Season 1 is New Zealand. They filmed at least some of it there, but you're right, they filmed season 2 in England. I guess that one guy should have looked deeper into it before he sold that LA house, but season 1 was craptacular. And I just would point out, these are the creative teams and the creative geniuses behind Star Trek Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
This is their other show.
We fail upwards in Hollywood, sadly.
Well,
they're con men.
I mean, indeed.
I think they're charlatans who lie to the actors and who lie to, like, they prove, Jeff Bezos proves that being a billionaire doesn't make you any smarter than anyone else. They got over on him, and he looked so dumb that he had to give him more money to look less stupid. They really found a great con. These people have been doing this since Lost. And then when they got called out, what they did was they started blaming the fans, doubling the production time, trapping the actors into a half salary situation because now it goes on twice as many years, which you can see the Star Trek people losing it over. And, they just blow smoke at people. They're the most insufferable people. Patrick, Lindsay Weber, Patrick McKay, and JD, I forget his name, McKay, JD Payne, I think it is. But yeah. the three of them have been together since Star Trek Discovery. They've never written a good character. Everyone's a cutout. They hide behind activism. They're lampshading behind having some intellectual depth. And they are the kings of self-contradicting dialogue. Within 2 sentences, they've contradicted themselves. They're going to benefit a lot from AI checking that over.
Yeah.
All right.
I think AI will make it better Rings of Power, to be honest.
We'll move on from Lord of the Rings. Just fact-checking a couple of things. So 1/3 of season 1 was shot in New Zealand. All of season 3 was shot at Shepperton. And that would have wrapped not that long ago. So I thought it was worth having a quick little Google Earth to see what we could see on the Shepperton backlot while we're here. So this is Shepperton Film Studios. I've been there many times. This is where Judge Dredd was shot. So
which one?
The
Stallone one.
The Stallone one. the backlot for Shepperton is this area here. And you can see at the minute, like there's one bit called Alien Avenue, for example. There's no sets there, so whatever sets were there were struck. We've got a little bit of some stuff here, and these are all the studios. So there's no standing sets at the moment that we can peer on, which is a shame because normally there's always something you can have a look at and like, oh, that's a wild.
That show's so soundstagey, Lance. If you watch it, like they've got like one outdoor like forested set, one indoor like cave set, and then a lot of it's just outdoors in undeveloped land. That's it. They're just in a deciduous rainforest. There's nothing more to it.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen season 3 yet because it's not dropped yet.
No,
I suspect
they're not big on structural sets.
Looking at the trailer, a lot of it looks like it's shot in studio and on sets and green screen and all the rest of it. So we'll see. Well, you know, well,
I'm sure Shepperton has the whole volume stages and all that kind of stuff. So,
but
these guys aren't big on practical filmmaking anyway.
Let's give Below some airtime because I
wanted to see that. I saw the trailer. I like the. Widow's Bay was great. We're going to start seeing a lot of weird supernatural maritime movies. But like, I'm so like turned off knowing that this is a show now. But yeah, I mean, there's like a sea monster in the lake. Is it a bad one? Is it a good one? Is it a friendly monster? Is it a scary monster? I don't know. It was enough to pique my interest, but like finding out this is a miniseries is like, it's infuriating actually.
This actor is in The Staircase, by the way. He's very good in The Staircase. It looks like it might just be a single season, right? So
yeah, miniseries.
By the way,
yeah, it's 6 to 6 episodes in total.
I've met Josh Hartnett. He's such a nice guy. Really, really lovely.
It's got Natasha Henstridge in it. She's not been anything for ages.
Yeah.
Species.
There you go. Yeah, Natasha Henstridge.
Charlie Heaton's good actor.
Yeah, that's I've seen him in a few things.
Yeah, episodes. Ooh.
6 episodes. Not too much. That's not.
I guess it's one of the. I do want to see what the monster looks like. It's always a bummer when you find out, the big creature that's the focal point of the show is just kind of either bad design or bad special effects. Looks fake. Looks stupid. I want to see. I want to see something cool. I like the host. Remember that?
Yeah, that was a great film.
That was good. Yeah. Well, do you mean the Korean monster?
Film.
Yeah, I saw that at the cinema. It was good. Yeah, like that. All right,
there's something in the water. Or what would be awful is like, it's a hoax somehow. Like, there is no monster. That would be lame.
Is anyone watching this? The Hawk with Will Ferrell, Netflix comedy half-hour show.
That's another thing that sucks about the Below. I see the Netflix logo and my interest just goes down like 50%.
I don't know. Some of their in-house stuff has been pretty decent. It all depends on what you're saying that
because you have Netflix and you're like reliant on it. I am bound. I'm tethered by no streaming platform.
No, I'm not tethered to anyone, dude. My flatmate pays for it. I don't pay for it, but I have access to it. But I do watch their dramas and their mainstream comedy shows. This is obviously a Will Ferrell vehicle. This is basically Caddyshack, the mini series, but it's meets
Happy
Gilmore. And it's about an aging pro who kind of had a run of bad luck. His son is now a pro golfer and doing better than he did. And he's come back for one last tournament. He ends up with this kind of funny, crazy lesbian lady for his caddy, who's totally, inappropriate to be his caddy. And I think it's like 6 half-hour shows. Again, I've seen the first 5. It's pretty funny. It's Will Ferrell doing Will Ferrell things, If you like Will Ferrell, you'll like it. If you don't like Will Ferrell, you're not a fan of his movies, you're not going to like it. But I give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, you watched this? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's out. It's been out a few weeks. Yeah, this is
Remember
out.
the Netflix golf classic Happy Gilmore 2?
I did not see that, and believe
It's
it or not,
terrible.
I've not actually seen all of the first one. This is all right. This is you know, it's actually quite funny in places. You're not seeing Will Ferrell doing anything that you haven't seen him do before, but the other actors are giving it their all, and there's some pretty good stuff going on. So yeah, but I thought some of you guys would have actually seen this, because I thought
I saw the trailer for it and was like, no thanks.
Admiral Teag just strikes me as a guy who might be seen on a golf course occasionally. So I don't know, but okay.
You never know, right?
Never know. We'll move on.
Get out to Burberry once in a while.
I give it a solid 6. Some episodes are definitely a 7 out of 10, but I think for what I've seen of it overall so far, 6 out of 10. Not all the jokes land, but yeah, it was all right. So it's another good one you can put on before bed. You don't have to think too much. Critic, what you got for us this week, buddy? Is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I watched a show called Human Vapor.
Human Vapor.
Human Vapor, which is
that about a
Japanese...
superhero who can vape faster than anyone else on the
No, not that. That would be novel, wouldn't it?
Just looking at the poster, I want to see this. Is this the Netflix show?
Yeah, it's actually based upon a 1960 film, which was also Japanese.
Looks good.
And basically, you've got a guy who can turn himself into smoke, into vapor, and he's going around killing people, and nobody knows why. And the mystery is sort of unfolds over the course of it's 8 episodes. It's not mega long. It is very Japanese.
What do you mean by that? Explain that statement.
I know.
Weird, zany characters.
Yeah.
And there's just an attitude that Japanese people have that's very different to a Western perspective. And it's a real shame because I had to watch the dubbed version because the missus won't watch anything subbed.
Yeah, they're never good.
And although the acting is okay, you absolutely are not getting... You're getting a westernized version of the performance.
Yeah, you're not getting the nuance.
You're not getting the original.
Yeah.
And a lot of cultural differences are, or nuances rather, I think are lost.
Yeah.
But it's very much it's not a remake. I can't call it a remake because it features too many new bits and pieces. Like there's these YouTube streamers, brothers and sister, who are involved in the mystery as well. But basically what happened is there was a meteorite that crashed into a city near Japan. And the whole thing kind of revolves around that, but there's some government conspiracy going on and some experiments that weren't above board and all that kind of stuff. So I've watched the whole thing, and it's a Toho Studios production, believe it or not. The same people that did Godzilla. So like the effects are actually very good. It is a little bit Japanese, I suppose. It's really describe, which might put a few people off. Just a few of the things the characters do, and a few of the attitudes, and a few of the sort of the character direction. For example, you look at it and they're just doing very Japanese things that don't seem very Western. Like one of the ways that they find out a clue to vapor, that the human vapor's location, is through like these 6 pop idols that are recording a music video, like a scary goth music video type thing. And it's all very like at the end of the credits, they give you the whole video, and it's all very weird. And the director's like this kind of lech, and it's all, he's bonkers. He's wearing like a kilt, and it's all a bit weird. But overall, I actually thought the plot was very good. This guy Kenji is a very good character. There's a few flashbacks that fill you in on the actual what else is going on in the story, and I would recommend it, just with the caveat that it is. There'll be so if you're used to Japanese fare, you know, if you consume it on the regular like I do, then you'll just be like, oh yeah, that's Japanese. If you're not, you might be like, what the fuck is that? You know. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. I felt like it could have done more. Not that it needed to run longer, just that they could have done more with a few of the characters. We could have known a bit more. There's a few things that don't quite make sense. A couple of just like where the story should interconnect nicely like that. There was just a few bits that weren't lining up, you know, just a few. But it's quite sort of brutal and violent, and it's certainly adult. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought most of the performances were pretty good. I thought the story was, you know, well done, just maybe not executed in quite the best way. And yeah, for like a rating, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was all right. Yeah, definitely not a waste of time. The effects are great.
Okay. 7.
The other thing that I watched is a film called How to Kill Monsters.
I've seen that.
Now, this is a crowdfunded film.
Yeah.
And a guy that I know who does a YouTube channel for Warhammer, like my other channel, did the music. Called Dave Walker. He's MSS Paints, also known as Kyoto Dragon, I think it is. So I watched this, and there's another one out as well called Book of Monsters, which is, I think, made before this with the same people. It's very low budget, but again, I kind of enjoyed it. There was kind of there's a very cool plot twist to it that I thought, wow, I didn't see that. That was actually, I genuinely didn't see that coming. That was pretty cool. The budget is what hampers it, I think. Like the monster at the moment literally looks like a guy in a paper mache, you know, sort of monster costume and everything. But some of the performances are quite fun. I liked it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not. I can't say it's a great film because it is low budget. It is crowdfunded. Like they thank all the people at the end and that kind of stuff. And a lot of it has been done in a not particularly sophisticated video editor. Like some of the blood is like proper CGI blood that's not actually on the person, it's on the lens kind of thing. But it is very imaginative. It's got some good character work, and it's got a hot demon girl in it. So like, yay. There's also there was a couple of actors that I noticed as well, like recognised, you know. And I thought it was fun. Yeah, it was okay.
Okay, all right. Rating out of 10?
For this one, I mean, probably around about another 7, I reckon. Like, you know, it's not going to be for everybody. It's super low budget, but if you watch this kind of thing like I do on Amazon all the time, like sometimes when we go on Amazon, it's just like, what can we find that just looks almost like the worst? Some old obscure 80s film that we've never seen, you know.
I can recommend loads of those for you.
And I didn't hate it. There was a stage in the middle I was just like, I'm not too sure about this. It's a bit, you know. But then when it finally gets itself going and the plot reveals itself, and I was like, yeah, that was pretty cool. It's kind of Cthulhu version yeah, Stuart Spark, Dead Reset. Oh, okay.
Is
cool.
Hang on, Stuart Spark. That's not the same guy that did the one with the dinosaurs, is he?
Oh, you're thinking of Primitive War?
I am. I'm thinking of Primitive War.
Yeah.
That's Luke Spark, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you see some like, I mean, you see what he's done, and he does very much this kind of thing. But you know, I like that he's earning his stripes, as it were, and doing these small, low budget films, but they're a bit of a laugh. And
I should reach out to him, try and get him on.
You absolutely should get him on.
I remember when The Creature Below came out. I know it, you know, didn't get great ratings and all that, but
I've not seen that one. I've seen The Book of Monsters and How to Kill Monsters.
It's
all the same actors. These are all the same actors again.
I know he's got like a sort of a group of people. He's like Howard Ford, indie director Howard Ford, who should be coming back on the channel again soon. His new film Zipwire is about to premiere at Fright Fest.
Cool.
He's got a sort of a cohort of regular actors that he works with.
You can see the trajectory of his career on IMDb. He started off doing music videos, and then he's doing shorts, and then so he's learning as time goes on. And I can't say the films aren't entertaining. I can say that they're horrifically low budget, Sometimes I like low budget films because it forces people to come up with ways to do things rather than just going, yeah, okay, we've got like nearly unlimited budget, so we'll just fix it in post.
Now,
You don't get that option.
Who on the panel, before we talk about Star Trek, because we must, who on the panel actually did their homework from last week and saw this work of genius? Remember?
I forgot.
Enzo?
No.
So Admiral Teag wins the cookie this week because he's the
I guess so.
I totally forgot.
Thanks for this fun, like Sandow Bergman type woman's movie. It reminded me of the Quick and the Dead meets the Raquel Welch Western Hanny Calder, except this character's a little more intact and really should be pitching for the Yankees with that throwing arm of hers.
I know,
We can
right?
talk more about that later, but I just want to say right up front, my biggest problem with this movie was the costume department did not put her in an alluring outfit until the last 20 minutes of this movie. But thanks to Plex, I now know that you can make the very poor life choice of having bourbon scented car air freshener, which is definitely never going to lead to any problems.
Definitely not. No. Definitely not. I mean, have you got a rating out of 10 for it?
You know what? This movie accomplished most of what it wanted to do. I'm not sure about what the hell went on at the end. We could talk about what this movie was supposed to be and what it turned into for a while if you want, because honestly, it was, I understand, inspired by Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it ends up having more of like lifted from Conan's sort of feel and weird plot.
Yeah,
It's really...
It's a B movie Raiders meets Red Sonja, really, isn't it? But it's an oddity. It's one of those ones that's like it's not so bad that it's completely crap, because it actually has got merit, and could have been, with a bit of tweaking and maybe some slightly better casting here and there, it actually could have been a little franchise on its own, but they didn't quite hit the target. But it's actually
might have run
fun. It's a fun watch, which is why I said to you guys that, you know, here's your homework.
Completely forgot about it.
Which Critic
You threw me off that Android thing.
I feel like they ran out of money, Lance. I don't know, because that ending was weird.
They did run out of money. Yeah.
Good save at the end then, because the ending was amusing enough. Okay, this movie was way too dependent on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and it was at a time before Westerns come back in America. It is a Euro Western from after the Man Without a Name movies. We go to the same locations. There is the one thing I would say about this movie, like Ladd said, there's some high quality stuff. It's marbled through. It's such a mixed bag. Like, there's this great action scene with a stagecoach and horses, and 3/4 of that scene is amazing, and 1/4 of it is like weird transitions that they need to help you know what's going on, that are bad, that are just bad.
Yeah.
And then back to being really good again. And you're like, I don't know what to feel about this movie. They developed their heroine a little bit. They developed their female star. Let's not get anyone in trouble. Developed their female star a little bit. She has like this cool way of holding her weapon. There's some personality injected into it. There's just a touch of like Old West Highlander, but like the production values are so mixed. The action, it gets a lot of what it goes for, but then mixed in there, it'll just be like a weird prop or low quality
there's some
moment
stuff that lets it down. All right, we won't. I want to give you some time to talk about Star Trek now.
God.
I appreciate this is a massive can of worms, but before
I will keep it brief.
No, you don't. You've got a bit of time because it's your go. But
all right.
Here's where I'm coming from. So I saw, was it the episode of Discovery where the Enterprise was kind of the surprise clanger at the end of the season?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's the Enterprise. So I saw
season
that
1 final episode. You only see it.
Yeah,
you
only see it. You don't see the crew or anything. And I think like Spock's hailing or something. And then I saw a couple of episodes of Strange New Worlds with Pike. I saw like maybe 2 or 3 from season 1, and I got a bit confused because I was like, okay, so this is, I don't know what timeline, whether this is Kelvin or whichever timeline. They've done these timelines now, which is, I just think it's all bullshit. But clearly this is set before It's set before the original series because it's before Kirk comes on and commands the Enterprise. Now, is that going to happen in this timeline or not? Just give me a simple answer. Don't get into the minutia.
I would say we don't know, but my speculation is we'll see it because Alex Kurtzman is not going to let go of this willingly.
Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We'll set up that show.
So okay. So for intents and purposes, the seasons that we're watching at the minute are the adventures of Pike and Spock before Kirk came along, and also Uhura's.
I don't know anymore. They blurred out these star dates. They are past Star Trek 6 in their star date. It's like 2491.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
This is a completely alternative timeline then.
They had to admit it after saying that this was the original continuity over and over and over. They don't have an original continuity license, and they cannot square this up with the movies or with the original series. So all they can be is their own pocket Star Trek universe that has nothing to do with anything. Maybe they're a hallucination in the wormhole from Deep Space Nine. At best, this is not Star Trek. It's not Star Trek at all.
Is it as a standalone show? And again, I've not seen enough episodes to give my own answer to this question. As a standalone show, does it work? Does it get better?
Pure trash that gets worse and worse. They have no money. It's filmed in a guerrilla budget with the illusion of being good. However, this season, they managed to crowdsource up enough money and will pay for it later. Government organizations that favor things like weird lifestyles and other stuff that is just so off the wall. There's like 21 producers who have their own special interests, and 12 to 15 government organizations from non-American governments from around the world. They get their special interest episode, but episode 1 was like, we debated it for hours. We had to circle back and talk about it again. They must have had a good leftover script. Episode 1 is almost worth watching. It's the best single episode of New Trek.
Episode 1
of season 4 is a standalone Star Trek episode, which is actually like, it is Star Trek Strange New Worlds is actually in its 5th season because the first season piggybacks on Discovery season 2. So these people have been stuck in these jobs a long time. They're still trying to perform. I feel terrible for the cast. There are no extras. The cast is under so much strain. They're being worked to death and they're doing the best they can, but the show is terrible. This week, they did things we never heard before in New Trek. There was some incidental music, Lance. There was the sounds of a starship in the background while we had a conference where we laid out the stakes and made things clear. We took all the powerful women off the ship and let the captain be manly, and he stood up to a woman and told her what was going on. Then there was a whole bunch of time travel nonsense and garbage that only kind of made sense, but it teased the edges of science, and I feel the AI was prompted well.
Where they went back to meet the dinosaurs. Is that what you're talking about?
They only go to one Strange New World. They go to Earth over and over and over. Don't ask me why. This time they let us see it though, because it was just a forest again.
So not all of season 4 is out yet. To be clear.
Just the first episode. I predict it goes the way of Academy after season 1. This is the Alex Kurtzman way. He gives you a watchable episode 1 where he keeps his agenda and his craziness dialed back a little bit. And so there was only maybe one moment of like, you go girl, maybe 2. I mean, it was coded in there more deeply, but like the obvious ones that a normie would get, like maybe 2, and they weren't that big of a deal. He played the Star Trek music. He had the Star Trek sounds. They even complained about the sound of the bridge sounding like the original bridge and blamed it on the Scotty character. And Thomas Jane is going to show up to help destroy McCoy later this season. I'm pretty sad about it.
So here's an interesting factoid. So there's 10 episodes for this season. The names of all the episodes are already out, so that's interesting.
They're stupid.
And well, I find it interesting.
Valeris Marinaris was really, that one was about. Why do the Martians speak Latin?
Well, hold on. So the thing I wanted to say is, so the final episode is called Tomorrow's Enterprise. Now,
yes,
one of the best episodes of Trek ever is Yesterday's Enterprise. That's such a good episode. So I wonder if Tomorrow's Enterprise is going to be a nod to Yesterday's Enterprise. And wouldn't it be interesting if they also went back to that same battle that's in Yesterday's Enterprise, and now they're another ship in that battle sequence?
Well, there's a one-line synopsis. A temporal crisis brings Pike's Enterprise face to face with the future Kirk will one day inherit.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Yeah,
that
this
could
is
be
a ba-
interesting. That could be
I
interesting.
sense a backdoor pilot for New Trek Year One, which is the thing they're not giving up on and pushing endlessly. Alex Kurtzman is going to be allowed to say anything he wants until the end of his run. His contract permits that. If they don't show all his stuff, if they don't let him run out his contract, it's been said that he gets retroactive rights to his Star Trek. So imagine what he would do. We're talking like, the kind of dinner theater that he would have and the kind of educational material he would try to sponsor to get money. He would be an ongoing thorn in their side. So it's going to get worse before it gets better. It looks like Bakula is coming back in about a year. And the movie I heard is further in the future than anything else, is the first rumor. So that would put it beyond Discovery. So there's new Star Trek projects with new Star Trek showrunners, at least 2 out there right now. So just ride this Kurtzman garbage out and laugh your way through it. This part wasn't too bad, though.
I mean, I haven't seen enough of this. I do love Anson Mount as an actor. I think
He's cool.
good. Good
But
actor.
he's Space Dad. They just turned him into Space Dad.
He tries so hard in this. What happens is he gets orders from his boss and he looks incomprehensibly at the viewer. He's just like, the Admiral's telling him.
Is this Kirk here?
That is their Kirk. He looks more like Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
He's a terrible Kirk. He's been killed 3 times in the continuity of this show and brought back to life by time travel weirdness.
It's quite funny because I saw Jim Carrey do like a spoof of Captain Kirk.
Right.
Just like
and
that.
unfortunately, that's all I can see when I see that. He just looks like
Yeah,
Jim Carrey
but
doing Captain Kirk.
They don't like William Shatner and they're casting against him. This is to embarrass William Shatner. And these two, William Shatner and this actor, have had a little talk about how this guy isn't too happy about what he has to do. William Shatner has said generous things about him, but he has continued to say that New Trek is not any kind of Star Trek. So and
it's a real shame because Paul Wesley's a good actor. I've seen him in stuff. He's a bloody good actor.
Yeah, I've seen this guy in a few things.
Okay.
I like him. I like him as an actor.
I can't put him down with what he has to work with. He has to he actually had to play a Captain Kirk. Yeah, we do it as a crime scene investigation against a crime against the bands. And we do like an autopsy style. So it's the beginning of the show is like the story arrived in an advanced state of narrative decay. From the collapsing under the weight of its own self-pretension was this week's cause of death. It was planet protection at the expense of double genocide. They pulled not 1 but 2 genocides in this week's New Trek, which makes it the ultimate Alex Kurtzman achievement. The thing was that it was slightly less stupid than usual. They paced it better, even though it was still way too long. And they were brave and they were cool and they tried to do the right thing. And Pike stood up to a woman. It was the most unusual episode yet. It still wasn't good, but it touched with the tips of its fingers like Threshold by Voyager, if you know how bad that is.
Yeah.
It was almost touching that.
I thought Strange New Worlds had promise, but very quickly.
Yeah, I agree.
I fell off a cliff. And what happened was Manny Kodo either got ill or got forced out. Manny Kodo goes back to TNG. He's a big-time Trek writer. He was pushing back. Then his physical state got to the point where he couldn't really fight with them all day. So about season 1, episode 3, Ghosts of Illyria, we see in the middle of the episode a quality drop that they have edited out. If you watch an episode now, her punching down the wall, Rebecca Romaine punching down the walls and firemen carrying 2 grown-ass men full stride at once down the hall. And then that was changed because they said her character never got the enhancements, which she obviously has. But they've changed that and they post-edited it. This is the most conveniently written show, and its lore is malleable. It's malleable.
The second they said that she was a descendant of Khan, I was just like, oh, come on, please.
That would be the other. That was Christina Chiang, who I understand is somewhat of a pop star in your part of the world. She's lovely. She's talented. It's not her fault. Once again, I feel bad for the cast, especially Melissa Navia. Melissa Navia doesn't
sure
do
most
Hollywood.
Nice people.
Melissa Navia was forced back to work right when her partner died. She doesn't do Hollywood. She lives in Ireland. So, I mean, she seems okay.
Her partner died?
Her partner passed away. It was a male partner. She's not what the character is at all. She's actually quite a good actress. Melissa Navia is very sympathetic and very nice.
I think she is a good actress. I've seen her in a few things. Didn't know
what she
her.
does with this terrible role. What happened was her spouse had a chronic condition. She moved to Ireland with him. She was the low person on the totem pole for the show. So she was always on call. She had to keep that crazy haircut. They never have that female mohawk. She lost another role. She can't even grow in a pixie cut, so she can't get hired. Her spouse, her partner passes away from this chronic disease. And she's forced to make this. I don't know if the tweet's still up there, but she was so sympathetic, trying to put on a brave face. She was like, "It's sad that it was only been a short time that I get to process this, but at least I'll get to see my castmates." And she doesn't, because they bring her in there alone, and she talks to a green screen like everyone else. This show is terrible, and they're all waiting to be free. You see how happy they are at publicity now? It's because they're done with this.
They love just half the seasons come out for season 5, isn't it?
There are 15 episodes of this show left and 10 episodes of Academy, 25 episodes.
I first saw her in the episode that she did of Billions. That's what I saw. That's what I saw her in.
She's quite nice when you see her.
No, yeah, I've seen her in a couple of other things. She's a good actress. I remember in Billions she had quite a small role, but she really stood out for me. And
the same happened.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what she does next.
Well, the thing is, actors aren't their characters at the end of the day, and if they are, they're not very good actors.
Certainly are.
There she is. This has destroyed her role. I want to know why the other cast members haven't stood up. Anson Mount is contemptible, in my opinion, and so is Rebecca Romaine for not saying, "Look, it's like 8 years. This wasn't supposed to go on this long. That character can grow in a pixie cut and still be just as obnoxious and second guess the captain as much." They're killing her career.
Oh, she's Ortega and she flies the ship, don't you know?
I felt so bad for her, but she did a good job in that part. But she was like shrooming or whatever with Spock. That was okay for a minute.
I haven't seen that episode, but I do want to offer my condolences because I wasn't aware of her.
It's 3 years later, but it did happen.
Nevertheless, I still like to these things. Sometimes they take longer. So
we have great sympathy for the cast. It's not there. They don't write it. Anson Mount is cool too. Like, you see him trying, and you never see him break character, but the things he has to listen to and get cooked and make food while he's making his decisions. He never sits in his ready room and says, "I expect you to get this done." This was the first week he ever had any agency. All the female cast members went on an away mission, and he was left alone to deal with the female villain. And he was just like, no, you can't. We're not going to accede to your demands. And wow, this is the toughest I've ever seen Pike been. He's not looking at a woman.
He can do that to a female villain, but he can't talk. He can't discipline his crew. That's the thing.
And he can't talk back to a trans villain.
Because we're out of time. But thank you for that, Admiral Teag. So in case people didn't read between the lines, he's not a fan of the show. So
he said this was the best new Trek we've had.
I've yet to see it
episode,
or enough of it to make a judgment. But now some people will remember
Disparu instead.
It was my birthday recently, and the first of, I said recently, as in the 18th of July, the first of my presents arrived. And when I say the first, I mean because obviously the present that Critical House, Stupenzolicious, and Admiral Teag are also sending me separately haven't arrived yet, but I'm sure they will soon. So one of my subscribers sent me these, the 3 original Star Wars trilogy film annuals.
Oh man, I had one of those when I was a kid.
Me too.
I had this one.
I think it was the Return of the Jedi one.
I had this one. I didn't have all 3 of them. I did have the original Marvel comic strip of Star Wars. They brought it out in 2 big sort of compendiums. You could also get them as separate issues. I had the first 6 issues separately, and then they
was the movie.
They brought out these 2, of the movie, and they brought out these 2 big compendiums. I was never a big fan of the other stories that they did. They kind of went a bit wacky.
It was hit or miss.
And
some of them were wonderfully creative.
I'm not talking about the later stuff by Dark Horse. I'm talking about the early Marvel stuff.
No, the Marvel stuff, there was a couple of hit or miss good stories, a cyborg bounty hunter and a casino story that were good.
Thank you for these. Very thoughtful. Obviously, can't wait to see what Stupenzo is sending me. It's going to be an awesome gift of a burrito or something. So, yeah. Thank you for that. Mr. Spoons, I believe these probably came from Mr. Wormy Spoons. But I spoke to somebody else who I thanked for sending me something, and they said, "Oh, great, it's arrived." So there must be something else coming because that wasn't Spoons. So there we are. Yes, Stupenzolicious, what you got coming up?
I'll be on Abomination AJ's channel later tonight, and we'll probably watch some movies in his Discord after that. And then tomorrow's movie, the We Watch movie, I think it's going to be a full-length commentary for the kangaroo martial arts movie, Warriors of Virtue. It came out last year, but I had to delete it from the MGM purge, and now it's back up with a streaming condom, and it should be good to go. So that'll be fun. And then I guess, Sunday night we'll be doing more Dork Side, talk about Spider-Man. We're going to watch some of the Spider-Man 70s TV show and watch more Baywatch nights. So should be fun. There's AJ.
Just giving Abomination, nice guy, like Abomination AJ. I don't think he's actually, we have chatted before. I've been on a stream with him, I think one of yours, Enzo, but I don't think I've ever had him on. So
he's a strange fella.
Well, most of us are. So that's all good. He's in good company.
I think I might have seen him guest on something at some point.
I've seen him on I've been on a stream on your channel, Enzo, when he's been there.
You might have saw him on Kill Tony one time.
Could be. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much. Critic, you got anything you want to plug?
I've got to talk about the bloody Odyssey. I don't want to, but I need to basically get a camera and just talk about the Odyssey for half an hour and then chuck it out there so it's done. But I'm also seeing Spider-Man tomorrow. In fact, this time tomorrow it'll be over.
Dyer is the best thing in that film. That's what I'm hearing.
I do not believe it.
Well,
maybe the movie's that terrible.
Yeah.
I
love how
we'll see. Listen, I'm not. I like Zendaya. I think she's a good actress. I'm a lone voice. I know.
I'm waiting to be
everyone.
Actress. I mean,
the same dudes who were saying like the Odyssey's garbage and Spider-Man's gonna blow it out of the water. It's like, has a thought crossed your mind that the Spider-Man movie might suck? I mean, it is a possibility. But
the
also,
Spider-Man movie has got a lot jammed into it, and that's the main thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, and the thing is, Spider-Man. Once Spider-Man comes out, the Odyssey's dead in the water. It's like all of August, it's pretty much going to be Spider-Man and Odyssey are the big ones.
It had a 31% drop. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone's going to see both movies. Okay, like there's no. This is stupid.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's my sort of bar for Spider-Man is it's got to be a lot better than the last Marvel shit I saw. Basically, I expect better from Sony.
There's a bunch of movies coming out in August that I want to see. Yeah, there's a bunch of movies in August that I want to see, but the only one that's gonna do big money is probably gonna be there's a Paw Patrol movie, and then there's also Warner Acme versus Coyote. That'll be that won't. But that's not going to do Spider-Man numbers, you know?
That film actually looks like it's a ton of fun. I really want to see that movie now.
Oh, End of Oak Street? That might do all right because dinosaurs.
That one I'm kind of looking forward to, yeah.
Oak Street looks good.
I want to see Onslaught in September. That looks dope. And there's a few other stuff in August that I want to see.
People might remember that I interviewed the creator behind the Star Trek Axanar stuff. So if you want some slightly better Star Trek,
D5s,
I do recommend
Raptors, even old D4s were showing up.
It's now out, so you can see this.
The sector was
there's some pretty cool like space battle stuff in it, and I love these shots, D7s and things like that. So it's pretty good. Feels like
looks great.
Already feels more like Star Trek, just the way the ships are moving.
I mean, just give guys some money to make a movie already. You know what I mean? This is, they're talking about the obsession and Reddit and all of that stuff. Well, Paramount, go out, look, this guy is a massive Star Trek fan. He quite clearly knows what makes a good Star Trek film. Give him a budget, let him make a little Star Trek movie, but set some copyright parameters about the story and whatever, maybe new characters. Hey, how about that?
This was a strategic move, Lance. Every time Kurtzman show drops, they start a conversation about another kind of Star Trek. So this guy has been in litigation with them for years, and they just let it all drop. So they're trying to change the conversation. It's not a coincidence that this happened while Kurtzman Trek is coming out. They're like, don't look at that Star Trek.
Yeah.
Look at this great fan Star Trek that was made.
The thing
Enzo,
is,
Enzo was up for this role, by the way, but
I will want to see something made with genuine passion and excitement and commitment over anything with a big budget any day.
Yeah,
any day.
Klingon battle formation, buddy. It's actually in Star Trek the motion picture if you watch. Yeah, so this blue dude is not tickling Miss Sparkles' bean. All right, okay.
In all fan movies, we get some of the people who backed it in there, so that's probably a backer.
If you did come on the anniversary stream on Sunday, thank you very much for coming on.
I should have that edited tomorrow, and
we're going to re-upload it with some minor revisions. So I'm so glad someone else didn't rip it.
One day we'll manage to put the full thing up.
Yeah, we have to wait for certain people to be deceased before that story can go.
How old is that actor anyway?
They're getting out there. They're getting on a bit. So anyway, so don't forget tomorrow. I've got an industry interview tomorrow night with B. Harrison Smith, low budget indie filmmaker. Exactly the kind of people that we like to support on this channel. This is why this channel is here. Yes, we do the review Nielsen ratings show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. UK time. That is our weekly slot, and I do chew the fats whenever around other things. But the primary reason we're here is to support indie creators, other filmmakers, comic book creators, musicians, other YouTubers. In fact, I'd quite like to interview more YouTubers about their channels as well. So that's something else I'd like to do more of. So do get out here. Admiral Teag, don't forget, has got a Trek video out. Is this the CSI review one?
It's the CSIs talking about Strange New Worlds and making the case of the Outlier good episode.
Do you have a hot goth bird like what's her name from CSI?
No, unfortunately, we don't have Abby. We don't have Abby.
Yes, Abby.
Polly Perrette. She was like a punk rocker or something first.
All right. Well,
excellent.
On that bombshell, we should have also next week for the Nielsen ratings, we should have new opening titles. So the question is whether to include Enzo's arse crack or not. It's hard to tell whether that will boost or depreciate ratings. Perhaps a period of experimentation is required. But
maybe people aren't ready for full Enzo arse crack. Maybe just
they may not be. That is true. That's true. Is the world ready?
A lot of crack.
That's a big valley to go down. All right, but listen, thanks to my panel, my regular co-host Stupenzo, my guests Critic and Admiral Teag. We'll be back at the same time next week. Is there anything dropping this week? I mean, I guess we'll be talking about Spider-Man, or you guys will, because you guys watch that kind of stuff. Who is Jim Goad, who's just passed away? Why does this name sound familiar?
I don't know. I know Bilotti died, but
I know. Yeah, Bilotti sadly passed away the other day. You know what? It would be good to do a retrospective on the goodies and get people like Enzo to watch the goodies for the first time.
Oh, what would you think of that? Can you imagine? Wow.
I think actually, if we picked out like 4 episodes for Enzo to watch and he watched them during party time, I think the goodies would work really well in that respect.
Jim Goad is an American author and publisher. He died back in June. Cool, it says 22nd of June. Okay.
22nd of June, so a little bit even earlier than that. Thank you for
around the time we lost Mitch McConnell.
All right, well, yeah, well, it just goes to show what I always say: make the most of the time you've got. This is why I still go dancing, and looking forward to doing that this weekend. I'll also be back on Monday next week with the Track to Ibiza Rave podcast. That's a lot of fun. Last week's episode, we had 2 ladies in the house, which was good. And we're gonna do an Our Place in the Sun episode this coming Monday. We're all going to pretend that we've won the lottery, and me and my co-hosts have actually got to find the best house. So we've all got to go on the property websites. We've given ourselves a budget, and we've got to see who's going to come up with the grooviest house next Monday, and the people in the chat have got to vote for the winner. So even if you're not a fan of EDM, electronic dance music, come and take part next Monday. That'll be quite fun because we'll be doing our very own kind of our big fat fuck off house that you can't afford episode TV show. I wish I could afford one. All right, okay, that's us out. Yes, Darth Plato wants a late night with Lancer. You had one. I did one on Sunday. I came back on after the main stream was finished for another 2 hours. And
yeah, but he's a hobbit. He's had one. What about second late night with Nancy?
I had another subscriber come on. Quite a passionate guy, but lovely guy, who joined me for about the last half an hour of that. God damn it, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And of course, we had Axel's Abodes came on with us the other day, and I think we're going to get Axe on for a chew the fat at some point. So he's going to come back. Doesn't know that yet,
bump in culture. It's much more cultured when he's on.
Indeed. It just elevates the status of the show. All right, that's it from us, guys. Thanks to my panel. Thanks for everyone in the chat. We've been great. We've had really good numbers today in the live stream, so it's been brilliant. I'm very happy. We'll see you all again soon. See you tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Where all the misfits and dreamers get innovative. It's film, TV, and theater in the mix. Industry interviews where ideas get their fix. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Interviews with fellow artists on the rise, and reviews that might surprise. Films, TV shows from back in the day. You might just find a hidden gem today. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Makers, comic book creators, stand up proud. Actors, musicians, board game designers, be loud. At Outcast Creative, amazing's the word. He even interviewed the legend, Galen Hurd. He's creative.
When you're about to arrive for that very first time, a rush of fear-filled adrenaline. Whatever the experience, it will be mine. Looking out the window, turquoise waters coming into view.
be broken.